what I'm trying to say is that if you turn the devil or a demon into an angel or an archangel, you become in a nice state of consciousness, having a skill to do something great. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that you don't, that devilness and the demonness does not necessary. That automation is necessary. You know, there's a lot of things that you can automate in your life and it's going to work great, but you're in control. It doesn't control you. Anyway, I hope it makes sense. Let's move on. Next one. Pride. Okay. That's to do with the third chakra. Again, don't believe in the chakras to see if there is happening in your life that, you know, if you have this, excuse me, not pride, greed. If you have a greed, it's like, oh, it's not enough. You have, but it's not enough. Okay, if you have a greed, you know, you can relate to that. And then on the other side of greed is charity. Okay. Now, both are vanities. Both are vanities, because if you try to act charitable or greedy, it doesn't matter, because both of them are vanities. They're both on the outside of the center. Okay. Why am I saying charity is vanity? Come on. You know, if you if you do something, let's say, well, I'm going to be charitable. You know, I'm going to do something also, so God will bless me because I was goody. So now, you know, I should receive a good thing. And then, of course, bad things happen to you. It's like, what the fuck? I was all good. Well, you know, I gave all the money to charity. Whatever, man. It wasn't coming from the right place. It's the exact same thing, as you can see. There's something in the middle. And if you do, and if you're charitable not from the right place, you're probably going to put the money where not supposed to be there. You're probably going to act on a cause that is pretending to be compassionate, but actually destroying something. That's what's probably going to happen if you did not come from the heart, from the intuition, you know. And that's why neither this is bad. There's something in the middle, right? If you're all charitable, you're not going to have anything for yourself. So then, you know, of course, come on, you have to have something that you need in life, right? In the physical world, there's a lot of necessities. So of course, you need to have things that you like. It's not out of greed, but because you enjoy, you like it and stuff like that, you know. But it also happens once you deal with it, you know. Once you let it go, then you're neither greedy, neither charitable. There's sometimes when you feel like, okay, this is something that I gotta take, and this is something that I gotta give. It just happens. But you're not controlling it anymore. You know, not trying to manipulate anything. Then moving on to the envy and kindness. That's to do with the heart. Same thing. You know, like if you're envious about somebody, or if you're trying to act kind, both vanities. Which, by the way, I should say that, like, this idea that if you go this way it's good, go that way is bad. This very idea is flawed. It's not bidirectional. The truth is not bidirectional. It's like spherical. The closer to the center you get, the closer to the truth you get. The closer away, the further away you get from the center, the closer to the lie you get, and the violence and the conflict and the drama. Look at how the sun functions. Complete peace and quiet in the center, and lots of conflict and drama on the outside. This is how we should look at what is right and what is wrong. You know, because you go both directions, they're both wrong. And this is why you go too much to do other one, trying to do good, and it turns out that you're doing bad, because there's something in the middle. And that middle would be, again, once you process it, you find the truth. I'm not going to tell you what's going on, you know, like, you're going to have to figure it out. But I tell you what's going to happen. I shouldn't, anyway, but how it, just think about it, just look at it, right? Someone's doing something and you feel envy, okay? um, and then you may have thoughts like to destroy that person. It's like, why is he successful? Like, I don't like his shit, you know, and so you want to destroy this person. These are the things that happen in you. Demons, belief systems. It's trying to act upon it. And that's the direction. If you try to act upon this, then you're playing with the devil, and you know, you'll learn all your lessons. But if you look at this and you're like, well, there's envy, and you stay with this envy, and you fuse it, you find the center about it, then you realize, oh, okay, no, there's certain energy that I want to do something with my life. Maybe it's nothing to do with this person is doing, but something that I want to do with my life, that is me. But that envy is really just like an inspiration for me to do something, right? So the kindness and envy kind of merge together, and then you're like, oh, okay, so that person is doing that, they're great at this, and in reality, I want to do something. It may not be anything to do with what that person is doing, but there's something there. And then when you act upon the something that is there, unique and yours, poof, envy disappears. You're never going to feel the envy again. Because you found the nugget. You know, the uniqueness that I mentioned before, you found it. And that's the truth. Like the envy and kindness merge into one. Because that energy that was envious now is inspiring you. You know, not in a competitive way, but it's inspiring you. And if you see what I'm saying, right? Now, everything that I'm telling you, like, it's not like that you do it once and that's it. Life is, I mean, just gonna go get to this straight. A lot of people teach the state of consciousness that I teach. This point to it. I can't teach it. It's there. It's always there. But I'm kind of trying to find ways of how to get into it, right? And that state heals everything. And when you have the envy, it can heal the envy, and if that state, right? You can do that. This is why once you discover that state, the life is not over. It doesn't like, oh, I'm enlightened now. No, you just discovered that state of innocence, and you discovered that state heals everything. You don't need anybody from the outside. That's all that happened. Life goes on. Things pop up. Now you have a faculty, a tool to deal with this. You know? And that's what's more realistic. Rather than like, oh, I discovered the state and, you know, life is over. I'm done. No, but now because the things, when they bubble up, you don't necessarily act upon them. You dissolve them, and then you get something closer to joy, and then act from there, right? So it gets much, I mean, you start living life how it's supposed to be lived. And that's all. I mean, there's nothing that fancy, to be honest, you know. Anyway, moving on. Then you have the pride and humility. Same thing, right? Like, if you're pride about something, you can fake the humility, and then of course you can't hold on to it for very long. You're going to be pissed off because people are going to push you around. And if you're faking the pride, you know, you see where this is going. And then of course we have the wrath and patience. Again, if you move those two together, when something happens in your life and it makes you angry, because it's unfair and unjust or whatever, you can just be patient about it, but that's not gonna last. You're not gonna, you know, just like with the with the temperance, it's not gonna last. You're gonna poof, go back into the, no, you gotta deal with it. And you're gonna, if you deal with it, you're gonna find something. You know, what is between the wrath, the rage, and the patience? There's something in between. There's some sort of energy. There's some sort of a wise action that you're taking for that unjust thing to disappear, but you're not enraged and you're not being patient. There's a certain energy that you're moving, creeping upon it, and that thing doesn't have any chance. It's gonna go down, because you're not straying off the center, right? You're not going out there being activist and spreading all the rage around, and you're not just sitting on the sidelines not doing anything and being patient about it. You're taking an action that is like a katana sword, man. And no need for rage, no need for patience. There's this action that's just going to be like a seed that was going to cascade everything else, and the thing that wasn't just in your life will go away. You'll never have to deal with this again. And then the last one is the sloth and diligence. In the same way, you can imitate. See, that's another thing. You can see that a lot of people are diligent, you know, like to the point of being maniacs, of like doing and doing and doing and doing. It's like, you know, and other people, sloth, were just not doing anything, just smoking weed all day and just not doing anything at all. Neither of them are natural. You see what I'm saying? Neither a maniac, neither depressed is natural. And that's why you can see on a lot of like these, you know, again, I don't want to mention names, I don't have to mention names, but you can see it yourself when the person is total maniac, you know, running, beating somebody up into a you know, helpless man, whatever, you know, you think, just being a maniac, okay, because they have not dealt with the issue. And you can't run away. I don't care if you run miles, I don't care. This is not a virtue. It's not a virtue. If you claim this to be a virtue, just check yourself a little bit, because you know, you don't have to run for miles and miles and hours and days and days. You can run. There's certain amount of exercise that you should probably do, you know, but not get to the maniac, because that something is not dealt with, you know. A lot of that time you can use for making love with your wife, for example. You know what I'm saying? It's also cardio. But if you're always running and you're always being a maniac, you're running from something. And the same thing, whether you're fighting, running, it doesn't matter. There's certain things that must be dealt with. Because then if you stop running, what's going to happen then? If you cannot take that, you know, maniac action, what's going to happen then? You won't be able to do it all your life, you know. You're going to have to face this. So you might as well do it now, you know. And instead of being all this like, maniac here, you may have some smile on your face and talk with people in a much nicer way. And not going like, all disciplined. You know what I'm saying? Take a chill pill. Find the balance. That's why I do not I don't admire this. And I suggest you kind of check as well. Because it turns into a cult and a belief system, and people think that like, oh, the way to handle life is to wrestle with it. You always use the willpower over all these 7 devils, you know. And when you use the willpower of all these 7 devils, you give the power to the devil. You know what I'm saying? You may claim it to be the virtue, but it's just vanity, man. And you see, then of course, when you take a bunch of these belief systems, then you have so-called society, you know, everybody's sensitive, nobody wants to really face the issues. That's weak. That's weak. I don't care if you're a fighter, I don't care if you're a runner, I don't care how fucking hard you think you are, you're weak. Because if you still have not dealt with the real pain, and let's see what kind of man you really is, because like dealing with the physical pain, you know, it's I have to say it's not that big of a deal. You can overcome it pretty easy. But when you face the real pain, real emotional pain, spiritual pain, let's see how tough of a man you really are. And this is the reason why you can't do it. This is the reason why you go out there and beating somebody up, or you know, always running, because you're weak. Ah, shit. I mean, let's just talk about how it is, okay? Not taking away the physical prowess, all good, you know. I'm not taking anything away from anybody who has a physical prowess. Physical prowess is great, but if you're using this to compensate, you know, your emotional issues, and I'm not saying, you know, like, I'm not saying in any way that. Dude, my interest is very simple, man. I'm interested in the truth and love. This is my axiom or values. I don't want to make a point. I just want to find out what's true. And if these people can just let it go a little bit and say, well, let me, instead of running so much or going and fighting all the time, let's just deal with this, right? Then they're going to enjoy the running, because they're not going to be fighting with anybody anymore, themselves actually. And they're going to be enjoying the fighting too. They're going to be giddy. Fight is going to be a play. Running is going to be a play. You see what I'm saying? And enough of this maniac-y approach to life. You don't have to do this. I guess this is it. 40 minutes. Gonna have to slice it and dice it again. Hope it made sense. I didn't tell you about the true religion and what it means. Religion is really, we can say it, relighting it up. Lighting it up. Relighting it up. Something has been dark and then you relighting it up. This is the whole process that I've been talking about, you know, going through and facing you, relighting it up. That's the real religion. And guess what? All religions are solo games. Solo games. A real religion is every single person is unique and every single person must play their own religion. That's the true religion. It must come on a solo level. It's not a group thing, because every single person is going through this specific thing, you know, and you can find your approach that works for you. But if you are relighting things up, dissolving your demons, solving your belief systems, manifesting from there, from truth and love, then you're playing it right. Now you're being a true religious person. Because, you know, and you may discover a few things, you know, discover like unique sensations, and then you're like, whoa, what is this thing? Then you may create a symbol for it or whatever, and you can create these little things that can help you. These little, you've discovered, like if you discover a gem within yourself, you kind of earn it to put a little bit of a symbol for you, to remind you to put aware, and then you can create your own little religion, whatever it means to you. Like this point in the circle that I'm talking about, it's a type of thing that I've, you know, it's, come on man, it's the most Asian thing, the point in the circle. It's the symbol of the sun, or the symbol of, you know what I'm saying. But if it works for you, you can have that around you, and you can have your own little religion going. Not because you saw it outside, you discovered it from within. This is why alchemists would never give you the system to talk to you or write in a very mysterious ways, because only the person on would understand. All right then. Peace. See you in the next one.